Hello, this is video for HIUS, American Christianity, History of American Christianity. My name is Alvin Barnett, and I am studying this topic and subject of denominationalism and the importance specifically of denominationalism. One of the things that is important to me as a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ is relevance. Relevance is important to me as we communicate to our students on our campuses and to our students in our churches that we can disagree without being disagreeable. We are a family, and it's in any family we have some differences in philosophical differences. We have things that we think differently, and that's no different between the two denomination that I'm a part of, which is the Methodist Church, but also one that I'm not familiar with until I took this class, which is the Presbyterian Church. Now, we have studied at length the Presbyterian influence in America with George Tenet, Charles Finney, the revivalist, and that's where I want to couch my denominational importance with the new school versus the old school. Mark chapter 2, verse 22 says that you cannot put new wine into old wineskins or you will waste the wine. The importance of that scripture is the wine. And this is the antithetical nature of denominationalism. It gives a face and a name and a purpose to the doctrine of God. Presbyterianism or mainliners who were like Anglicans who wanted to establish the presbytery. The elders ran leadership. The scripture says that in the community of counselors there's safety. So these men protected and kept the tenets of Scripture, the inerrancy of Scripture, the worship. But the problem is, as revivalism came through the Great Awakening with Jonathan Edwards and others, they had to, that was the first time that they really had to deal with some philosophical issues. And that's what denominationalism will do. People want to be named as their nature is. So because of that reason, George Tenet and others, and new school versus old school, you had Princeton Theological Seminary that represented the old school, and Union Theological Seminary that represented the new school. They had to progress together. So the first issue was the worship, and also I believe it's Busey Charles that was defined as a heretic because he even spoke about the inerrancy of Scripture and the Scripture interpretation. And then secondly, they began to move from that to actually, as the different reformations came in the United States, to social gospel. And now we squarely hit upon the Civil War and slavery issue, and with the men and women of the Southern Presbytery versus the Northern Presbytery. This was the second division. Many of them, the Northerners, believed that this was categorically wrong, that Jesus did not want for his black African sisters and brothers to be enslaved. However, the Southern took a very literal of Paul's letter to Ephesians. It says that be in subjection to your masters. So that began to be another schism where the denomination began to split. So, but it also was all good because without any conflict, there cannot be peace. There must be confrontation to get peace. And I believe that denominations are viable. I think that they are valuable. I think that history has proven that even in a non-denominational way, it gives people a choice of worship experiences where they are not made to feel judged or maligned because they don't believe what you believe or want to worship the way you worship. I may run my house different than my brother. Matter of fact, I know I do, but that doesn't mean he's not my brother. And I believe that the Presbyterian and Methodist and Baptist, as they begin to split and begin to do different things, they begin to go from faith to faith, to glory to glory. They begin to see Jesus and his role in the kingdom in politics and social and economics. They begin to do that as a denomination. So that is my treatise about how important denominations are. One, they give greater depth and put a face and the name to the doctrine of Christ. Two, they allow for the philosophical differences and the freedom of worship. And three, it allows for confrontation that leads to peace, not compromise that just gives calm. Thank you.